An iconic deli in Los Angeles, Langer's Deli. It's been there for decades and decades. It's been there since the 1940s. Its owner is considering closing up shop exclusively due to the fact that he's got safety concerns and homeless concerns, and he doesn't want to operate his business anymore under these conditions. He's reached out to the mayor. The mayor said, yep, I'll help you out. Let's see what that looks like. Here we go. Here's a little video with the owner.
And the owner of Langer's Deli doubling down on his ultimatum to the city, his deadline to the mayor, saying clean up the area or he's ready to wave bye-bye. Watch.
Bye-bye.
So you're still standing by? Yeah.
I am. I have no choice. I'm tired of pushing the cart uphill.
And that cart seemingly getting harder to push by the very day as the owner of the legendary Langer's Deli is standing by his ultimatum to the city, clean up the area, including MacArthur Park, or the iconic deli will close. A threat that triggered immediate action from the very top of City Hall. This sit-down with the mayor herself, Karen Bass and Norm Langer, face-to-face, laying their cards down on the table. The mayor taking notes and then saying this.
Give me a week. You have my cell phone number, my private cell phone. I have your number. We'll talk. I got a lot of things on my plate right now. Give me a week and a half to get something done.
That as the homeless and the drug abused right down on the sidewalk. Langer's Deli, left as a shining star near MacArthur Park, now turned into a dark hole with its drugs, its crime, trash, and even a murder here. LAPD a few months ago saying a homeless man dumps a body right into the lake in the middle of the park, forcing Langer's Deli to say, enough already.
That I want 7th Street cleared from Alvarado to Westlake. I would like my customers to feel safe, regardless if they walk on the south side of the street or the north side of the street. That's all I'm asking for.
Not too much to ask for this landmark LA institution. Started by Norm's dad nearly 80 years ago. It's been in the family ever since. Well known worldwide for its pastrami sandwiches. Now it's become an extended family, really, all counting on the mayor and her promise.
I have 40 employees. Some of them have been there for well over 20 years. My head chef in the kitchen is going to be 52 years. So you put it all together, that's my family.
Right after that news story was recorded, a robbery near Langer's Deli raises safety concerns as owners consider closing eatery. And this is August 30th. This is last Thursday. Days after the owner of Langer's Deli threatened to close the historic establishment because of public safety concerns, lunchtime patrons got an inkling into what was on his mind. Around 1:30 Thursday afternoon, a woman was assaulted and robbed near the deli on Alvarado Street by an assailant who took a chain from her, LA police said. The victim was on her way to meet her daughter at a store when she was confronted by a man near MacArthur Park. And MacArthur Park is it is a park in Los Angeles that has the highest use of fentanyl in all of LA. It's been cleaned out. It's got a ton of homeless, has had a whole bunch of homeless cleared out. They spent millions getting it cleaned up, and it just always goes right back to, when you allow people to live wildly outside of the conforms of society, meaning just pitch a tent wherever you want, do whatever you want, that's what you're going to end up with. You're going to end up with a bunch of people who've dropped out, maybe they got some mental issues. And here we sit, right? It's no different than Seattle's story. LA is the same as Portland as far as the homelessness goes. The victim fought back and both fell to the ground. The attacker ran off with the necklace. The woman was walking by the deli in distress, crying and talking on the phone when a customer noticed her and recommended that she come into the restaurant to calm down, an employee told the deli's owner, Norm Langer. Langer told the Times that he had been sitting at a table in the corner of his restaurant and did not see the woman come in. A deli employee helped the woman sit down and gave her water while they waited for the police. This is exactly what this guy is talking about. It's not safe. Langer said he was surprised at this incident, adding, "We've never had anything like this happen before, where somebody's literally coming into their store because of exactly what he's talking about, which is, hey, the streets. Yeah, I want this cleaned up. I want this cleaned up. I want MacArthur Park cleaned up." My customers, for all intents and purposes, are safe coming from the parking lot, he said. And I heard him say that in a couple of different interviews. He says they're safe. All right. Instagram user who was eating at Langer's at the time of the incident posted a photo of the woman at the restaurant, but incorrectly stated the robbery had occurred inside the deli. Doesn't sound like it inside the deli, right? No. Woman robbed by gunman flees into Langer's Deli. So you've got this situation where a pretty famous deli is calling out the city. And what can Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, what can she really offer? She can offer a cleanup. We're going to clean this up. We're going to do this. We're going to offer some more emphasis patrols in your area. But at the end of the day, nothing is really going to change, because the people who are committing these crimes, and the reason they're committing these crimes, trying to get some money, it goes down to addiction, doesn't it? So unless you address that addiction component, all of this is just window dressing. You've got a scenario that you can't really control. You can't sweep all these people away. These are human beings living on the sidewalk. You don't have enough treatment services. You don't have enough detox. Plus, you can't involuntarily put these people into detox. You don't have enough mental health care facilities. You don't have places that you can put people. There's a long wait list wherever you go. And that's because we've basically dumped out all the mental asylums and just told people to, work it out on your own. And now jails and regular hospitals carry the burden of this policy that we've got, where we don't incarcerate people against their own will in a mental institution, even though they're just whacked out of their minds. So these people whacked out of their minds, they self-medicate and they go on the streets and they live on the streets. And that's the population we're talking about here. Some criminals, some straight up addicts, some criminals and addicts, some of them mentally, got major mental issues that need to be addressed. And as a society, we are just basically failing these people. That's what we're doing by allowing them. Hey, you can make the decision whenever you need to get into that treatment. Here's a phone number. Call a phone number. Portland is trying that, and Portland has literally Measure 110, which decriminalized or legalized hard drugs. That has been... Actually, it was yesterday, I think. Today is, the 4th? No, it was the 1st. September 1st, Oregon is recriminalizing drugs, possession of drugs, and you can go to jail. But bottom line is, again, unless you're getting these people off the streets, back into society working, you're either going to have them incarcerated in a jail, mental institution, or where are they going to go? They're living in a tent, right? They're living in a tent. Where are they going to go? You're just sweeping them. You're just moving them within your community. You're not really solving the problem. Say you move them from Avenue D to over Avenue C. Well, now they're going to walk from Avenue C and steal from wherever they're going, right? Whatever they're doing. So this whole notion that the mayor can actually do something is total nonsense. It's a massive years long process to get these people the help that they need. And we're nowhere near on the front end of actually helping them in any way, shape, or form that's going to provide a long-term solution. We're just not there. We're not there. We've got this idea. We've got this really progressive idea that if we just give them the opportunity to go into treatment, they'll take it. And what we actually find statistically is that only a tiny percentage of people given the opportunity to get clean and sober actually take that. And that is a lot of what's going on, in these big liberal run cities, in these big blue cities, where we've allowed them to just overrun certain parts of the city. The Blade in downtown Seattle. I went to Metallica this past weekend, and Wolfgang Van Halen opened up, and Pantera opened up, and it was a great show. But getting on we rode the light rail. It's new to us. We got Seattle's got a light rail, and it had just opened up a bunch of stops way from up north into Seattle. So a lot of different folks riding the light rail. there was a couple of homeless dudes just about ready to get into duke it out just outside of the door of the train we're getting into, just normal shenanigans, just nonsense. And my friend Mike and I, we kind of scooted down the train car a little bit, like, let's get away from those guys. But, in Seattle, you've got that happening all day long. You've got shenanigans happening all day long. And it's because we've allowed these people to live the way that they do. And they're living exactly this way in Los Angeles. And the owner is saying, rampant crime in the area might force the iconic LA business to shutter its doors. So the Los Angeles Police Department said the victim was attending a swap meet Thursday when a male suspect attacked her and grabbed her necklace. It was 2:10 p.m. in the afternoon that happened. 2:10 in the afternoon. Just a normal work day. You're walking, doing something. Maybe you're going shopping. Somebody comes up and rips your necklace off your neck. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But that is the reality. And, this owner is basically stating something's got to happen. Otherwise, I'm going to close her down. Now, one of my thoughts is, he's trying to get as much juice out of this as he can. He'd like to run this probably for a little while longer. Who knows? I mean, he looks like he's retirement age, but, this is a family thing. He's considering closing up shop after nearly 8 decades of the family business due to safety concerns exactly like this one. How is Mayor Bass going to come up with a solution in a week that's going to do anything? She's not. She's just trying to placate a business owner who's pissed off that has seen his business. He was talking with a Fox reporter, and he was basically stating that things were good through the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then when crack cocaine came in the 80s, he said things went south and it's never been the same. Well, now it's fentanyl, right? No more crack cocaine. I mean, it's out there, but everybody goes to the fentanyl because it's cheaper and it's a better high, and it could kill you. But if it doesn't, well, then you just get loaded for hours on end. It's all good, right? It's all good. But no, this article here, this storyline, I mean, with this woman being robbed and then she runs into the restaurant. That's horrible. I mean, that just kind of shows you the state of where this, world famous restaurant. The other stories that I've read that I'm not rating for you here is that this restaurant, I've never been to it. I'd never heard of it before this podcast, but it sounds like it's, what is it? The pastrami sandwiches, I think it is, are the big kicker. They did look good. Oh, the footage of those, they did look good, right? But so the 79-year-old the owner has tried to convince city leaders to clean the streets and make MacArthur Park not just a safe place, but a destination. And it has been a destination over the years. But now it's a destination for the homeless, for drug abuse, for, tents, garbage, drugs, human trafficking, you name it, everything that comes part and parcel with homeless communities just setting up shop on the sidewalk. So the owner is asking for, and he's being told he's going to get increased police presence, social services outreach, and better lighting the area needs. Okay, that's not really going to do anything. Is it going to get the homeless out of there? No, because where are they going to go? That is the crux of the situation, right? Where are they going to go? And if you think voluntarily these people are going to go into treatment, you are wildly wrong. And that's why so much of this just fails, because it's not a tough love approach. Hey, you are dying from taking drugs. We're going to involuntarily commit you to treatment, to 90-day treatment. That's about all a governmental entity can do, right? And then it's up to that person to take that sobriety from there and make it go. But we're not doing that kind of thing. Instead, we're dancing around the issue. We're coming up with 1,000,001 other things that we're going to do. And then we're going to call it, hey, we've been trying to help these people. This is outreach. Nah, until you throw people into treatment or into a mental institution, when they clearly need it, or jail. Hey, start incarcerating them. Oh, that's racist. We can't do that. Then nothing's going to change, and nothing is going to change. Nothing will change here. It'll be, if there is any kind of change, it's a short-term change that the minute the tents are gone and the minute services are gone and the minute the cops are gone, boom, they come right back. Hey, there's an open spot right in front of that little mini mart that I really like. I'm just going to go put my tent there. And that's what you'll see happen. And the whole thing will just, all that cleanup will be for nothing. And it's because you've got progressive policies that don't work that people hang on to as if we could just get some more police in. Nah, you got to deal with the people, because it's the people that are the issue, right? People are the issue, and they've got people problems. You got to take care of those people problems. And if you don't, then you're complicit in the thing too. I mean, we all are. Just let them out, let it happen. Let them live wherever. Pitch a tent, you betcha. Where? Anywhere you want. And we'll bring you, I was talking with my son this morning. He's like, Dad, did you know in Seattle there's a hotline you can call and they'll immediately deliver you free, clean needles? New needles? Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's a harm reduction, and that's all harm, no reduction. That's the same services that we're talking about here. Social services outreach. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to, a couple of social workers going to come and put some handcuffs on these people and force them into treatment? If you're not, then let's not even talk about it. It's not even worth talking about, because nothing is going to happen. You've allowed this massive scenario to take place. And it's not just LA. I mean, it's all these big liberal cities, because we want people to make the choices on their own. They're not going to. These are out of control drug addicts, criminals, whatever, people with mental issues. They deserve a better life than sitting on, sidewalk of a super hot street in Los Angeles, stealing from the community. You know what I mean? And the community, we haven't even talked about the community. The community deserves more. They deserve their politicians to come up with some kind of plan, but it's going to be a tough love plan. And guess what? Progressive liberals are not much into tough love. They're into people making decisions when they get around to it. And that's not going to work. So that's why this won't work for this poor gentleman that owns the world famous deli. I wouldn't be surprised to see this place close up, in the near future. What will happen is the mayor will do a big push, clean things up. We've all heard that before, right? We've all seen that before. But then what happens? Inevitably, tents come back, crime comes back, same thing, same exact drill. Same drill, different day. I don't see it any other way. So you can talk about making changes, you can talk about cleaning things up, but until you're around the folks that are in these homeless encampments, it's not happening. It's not happening without some massive, massive policy changes. And I don't see that happening. There you go. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.